just wanted to ask a question here. You had 12 total points in this one, obviously a big win for the team. At one point, the team had lost 9 sets in a row, and since then, the team is, I think it's either 12-4, 12-5. What can you say about kind of the resilience of the team to bounce back from the rough starts of the season?
Yeah, we just kept our head down in practice and kept working, and we knew kind of the things that we needed to work on. I think we've been really focusing on that in practice. A lot of it just comes down to our serve and pass game, and I would say that both of those things have improved from the start of the season, and hopefully we can continue improving on those things until the end.
Awesome. Yeah, what would you say is the biggest, difference in this one against the Mojo?
I think we executed our defensive plan really well, especially the first 2 sets. Third set, they started to do something a little bit different, but I think we did a pretty good job adjusting to that. Obviously, like our team blocks really shows, and our pin hitters did a great job setting up the blocks. And we know Ronica Stone is a huge go-to hitter for them, and I think we did a really good job shutting her down.
What's it like going up against your former team?
It's fun. I mean, I like the girls that were there last year, and yeah, it's interesting because we don't really know too much about them because there's only 2 hitters and a libero coming back for them, so it's not like we know everything about them, but it's kind of nice just to see the coaches and the familiar faces.
I don't know if you know this, but you had 7 blocks, which tied the Rise record for most blocks in a match.
Did not know that.
What does that mean for you?
I mean, that's exciting. I obviously can't do it alone, and that's a huge thanks to our really tough serving and our pin blockers. Nothing on the court can be done alone. Volleyball's a true team sport, so just credit to my teammates.
Well, you tied the team lead for points with 15 in this one, and it's been a few matches now since you've taken over more of a starting role. What can you say about what you've learned so far through the start of the PVF season?
I've just learned to play a little bit more free and have trust in my teammates. I think our team does a really good job of leaning on each other when we're struggling and when we're playing good, and so I think that's helped me be successful.
Who would you say really helped make the passing and the offense move today in the sweep over the Mojo?
I think all of our passers, I think Carly, Erica, and Lena, they hold it down really nicely in the back row, and it helps just our offense flow, and that's how we got the win today.
I did want to ask another question here. So does the way that you or the team play differ based on how far up or down you are in a set? In the first set, the Rise had a pretty substantial lead, and in the second set, you overcame a pretty substantial deficit. Does the way that you play or the way that your coach change in those moments?
Yeah, I think when we are down, like we were in the second set, we just stayed steady, and that really helped us win. We're not thinking about, oh, we're 6 points down, like we need to get 6 points right now, just 1 point at a time, and I think that's how we got the win in the second set, and yeah.
The San Diego Mojo, they only had, I believe it was 3 blocks heading into the third set, and they ended up with 7, so they obviously were much better blocking during the third set. How difficult was that to overcome, and what did you all do to still be able to win that third set?
Yeah, I feel like in the third set they were getting their hands in really good spots, and we just had to up our coverage and make sure that we swing high and just stay focused and kind of dig ourselves out of that hitting hole, and I think that's what we did in the third set.
Well, Eddie White, Ember's Nest Podcast, exciting to win this one and get the sweep. I did have a question that jumped off the page here. Does the way you coach the team change if the team is up a lot like they were in set 1 or facing a significant deficit?
It depends on what the reason would be, right? It's if you're behind, it's why are you behind? It's not necessarily the same in every game. It might be they're changing a strategy, and you have to look at what that is. I didn't think we were maybe as attentive as we needed to be in that point. So yes, that was a different conversation. Just kind of like getting us back to the flow of what we do well, how we got to get back to the way we discussed this in a strategy meeting before we played. So I think everybody got back into it. We had key plays from different people at different times to get us rolling again.
Yeah, and can you talk a little more about that, especially in that second set where the team mounted a large comeback? The Rise were down 3-8 and then 10-16 before leading 21-18 and then winning 25-22. Can you speak a little about which players made the difference to make that up?
I wish I could remember that well, but I will tell you that all of them had different moments. You know, Allie Bassinelli had a great blocking night. She's been, you know, blocking performance has been amazing, and she started the game that way, started the match, you know, and really made herself known. Came back and made a couple more clutch blocks, but we had contributions from everybody. So they started dialing back in. Everybody's making those defensive efforts that help us, you know, get our offense flowing, and that's what we needed. I think we just got away from what got us there in the first game.
Speaking of, you said a lot of players had their moments. Erica Pritchard had a really big match last time out, but also really surged toward the end of this one and ended with 15 total points. What can you say about her effort the last few
Well, she really has. I mean, people are going after her and testing her out and you know, by on her service pressure and everything else. And I think she's answering the call. She's doing a nice job in keeping her offense in check. And you're right, she did kind of put another surge in at the end there to kind of put this thing away and say, let's move on. So.
Well, the team's 4-3 now after an 0-3 start. What can you say, I guess, about maybe a difference in team mentality, or has it really been the same throughout?
No, I think we just had more of a commitment to defense and you know, being scrappy and playing hard together and feeding off each other as we're playing defense, right? So we are just more in tune to what it is we need to do, and it's turning into offense for us.
That's all I had. Did you have anything else?
One more. When you were building this team back and signing players in July, is this more kind of how you envision the team playing?
Yeah, definitely. You know, everybody has their own personality, but it takes a little while before you bring out what you have as you connect with others. You know, sometimes, you know, just that everybody's so new to each other, don't know exactly how they play, and then you have to find your own rhythm. And so that's been happening over the travel that we were on. You know, we were gone for so much, but that really got us a little closer and united us. Even though it was difficult on the body, it really was great for us. And so we're using that as a positive and growing from there.